an ambassador of the UNHCR, also visited Sindh's flood-affected areas. She was of the view, and I quote, "In my life, I've never seen anything like this. Families are sleeping under open skies and have lost everything due to the floods." The most heart-wrenching part of this human tragedy is that the vulnerable population suffers disproportionately. Nobel laureate Ms. Malala Yousafzai visited Sindh and took special note of the impact of floods on education infrastructure of Sindh. In this context, she said, "I hope that international community and country leaders can continue to provide emergency aid and ensure girls can safely return to school soon. Women education has always been on the forefront of education policy in Sindh, and we are adamant to not leave them behind in these trying times." When the floods hit, we managed the initial emergency response from our own resources. We took austerity measures, reduced our non-development expenditure, repurposed existing development projects, and aligned the provincial spending in line with the need of the hour. I would like to thank the many organizations that came forward with their commitment and support for the people of Sindh. We received multilateral funding, bilateral financing, international development assistance, green financing, and private sector investment. Still, there are not enough to match the devastation caused by the largest scale calamity of its kind in the world. I cannot, of course, forget the immense generosity, support, and steadfast resolve received from the Pakistani organizations and the people of Pakistan who stepped up to assist the government of Sindh. I also thank the international community from the bottom of my heart. In our time of difficulty, help and assistance came from all corners of the world. Thank you all. The government of Sindh, while dedicating most of its time to rescue operation, also has an effective rehabilitation plan. We have covered six thematic areas within our strategy for holistic and sustainable rehabilitation. These include providing immediate relief to IDPs. The organization and countries I mentioned earlier and the resilient people of Pakistan help us in this. Providing long-term, low-cost, climate-resilient housing through Sindh People's Housing for Flood Affectees. The World Bank has committed $500 million thus far. This is our flagship initiative, and I will talk about this later. The rehabilitation of damaged highways and road infrastructure. Again, the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank are forthcoming, and I hope that the funding gap can be bridged by other donors and investment agencies. The rehabilitation of damaged educational institutions which have been partially or completely damaged by the floods. Many local and international agencies are partnering with us for education initiatives. The revival of agriculture activity, which is so critical to the livelihood of the people of Sindh. Fortunately, we were able to drain out most of the water from the inundated agricultural lands before the wheat sowing season, and have also helped our farmers with money for seed and setting an attractive wheat purchase price. The rehabilitation of health and sanitation facilities at all healthcare levels. Here again, the World Bank has assisted us with funding. Ladies and gentlemen, we prepared brochures for each of these areas, and I request you to kindly take them there outside the conference hall. The total financing need across different sectors is estimated at US $9.35 billion. We have commitments of US $2.33 billion, leaving a gap of almost US $7 billion. Despite the massive coordinated efforts and commitment provided so far, we have a long way to go before Sindh can be sustainably rehabilitated. If there was ever a need for donors to come forward, it is now. With your help, we aim to rehabilitate flood victims and put them back on the path to progress. Keeping in view the huge financial gap which can't be catered through donations alone, public-private partnerships can play a vital role. Our public-private partnership program has seen tremendous success, and we are committed to building on that success by developing even more sophisticated projects. The robust institutional framework has fostered a high level of trust between the public and the private sectors, and this has been critical to the success of our program. Sindh's Public-Private Partnership Unit is the best-ranking unit in Pakistan and also has been ranked highly by international standards. The Economist magazine's Intelligence Unit report in 2018 ranked Sindh's PPP unit as the 6th best-performing unit in Asia. Many PPP projects in Sindh have been acclaimed internationally. One of our projects won the Most Innovative Deal of the Year award in 2021. We have thus far done projects worth $1.9 billion under the PPP model. We have a pipeline of PPP projects which are ready for implementation in the agriculture, water, public health and climate sector, and I would request you to please look at these. We also look forward to scaling up our public-private partnership model, for which we encourage participation from the global community. I would like to speak about a flagship project, the Sindh People Housing for Flood Affectees. Providing resilient housing is one of the key thematic focus areas for the Government of Sindh's strategy for sustainable rehabilitation. A special purpose company has been created. Through this company, we will replace traditional mud structures with flood-resistant housing. We will also be providing land titles to deserving applicants, as 80% of the flood affectees did not own the land that they were living on. SPHF has 4 strategic pillars to provide sustainable and resilient housing: MIS system for transparent process, new resilient housing, long-term commitment and land title for flood affectees. An MIS system has been developed to enable a uniquely transparent process for donors that delivers granular visibility right down to the individual beneficiary. Through this robust system, the linkage between the donors and beneficiaries shall be direct, transparent and efficient. The MIS will ensure direct transfer of funds to the beneficiaries without any human intervention, and the step of construction of the house shall be transmitted to the beneficiary directly. The MIS system also ensures that multiple donor streams can be created, and local and international donors shall be working through this MIS concurrently. Replacing mud houses with climate-resilient structures is our priority, and we aim to transform all mud houses into resilient housing to combat future natural disasters. The World Bank has been very forthcoming and has committed $500 million for this initiative. The Government of Sindh has repurposed $250 million. The Government of Pakistan has been asked to match this amount, and the Prime Minister has graciously agreed. Leading Pakistani non-governmental organizations will be working with us as implementation partners. We've got leading management consultants, lawyers and information partners as our business operation partners. Ladies and gentlemen, together let's revive hope for the people of Sindh. The Government of Sindh stands with its people. The world has come to help, but as explained, much more is required. We look to those present here for their support and assistance for justice to the people of Sindh. Thank you and Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you. We thank the Chief Minister of Sindh for his presentation, for being at the forefront of us combating this climate catastrophe as the most severely affected province, and for sharing your very innovative solutions. Moving on, I would now like to invite Mr. Taimur Chagra, the Minister for Finance and Health from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, to share his perspective and his provincial government's plan for reconstruction and rehabilitation.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. If we can just put on the presentation. जिनीवा में रेजिलिएंट पाकिस्तान कॉन्फ्रेंस का इनेकाद किया गया है। इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में पाकिस्तान आलमी बरादरी से सैलाब मुतासरीन की इमदाद के लिए पाकिस्तान की जानिब से इस कॉन्फ्रेंस का इनेकाद किया गया है। वज़ीर आज़म मोहम्मद शहबाज शरीफ, वज़ीर ख़ारजा बिलावल भुट्टो ज़रदारी इस कॉन्फ्रेंस की मेज़बानी कर रहे हैं। अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के सेक्रेटरी जनरल अंतोनियो गुतरेस भी मुश्तरका तौर पर इस कॉन्फ्रेंस की मेज़बानी कर रहे हैं। अब तक पाकिस्तान में 3 करोड़ 30 लाख से ज़्यादा मुतासरा अफराद की बहाली के लिए, तामीर नौ के लिए इक़दाम करने के लिए आलमी बरादरी से पाकिस्तान ने अपील की है। वज़ीर आज़म मोहम्मद शहबाज शरीफ का यह कहना है कि आखिरी सैलाब मुतासरा शख्स की बहाली तक वो अपील भी करते रहेंगे और मेहनत भी करते रहेंगे और कोशिशें जारी रखेंगे। अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के सेक्रेटरी जनरल अंतोनियो गुतरेस ने आलमी बरादरी को आगाह किया जो तबाही के मनासिर उन्होंने पाकिस्तान में देखे इस सैलाब की वजह से जो पाकिस्तान में आया मानसून के बाद, और इस मरतबा वज़ीर ख़ारजा बिलावल भुट्टो ज़रदारी दूसरे
to share his provincial government's plans.
His Excellency Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the chair of this session, Mr. Naji, the co-chair, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I begin with a 2 minutes video